Probably the perception of a lot of people is that you can only choose a house from a book from a building company like GJ Gardens. That's not the case.
We had a brief that we gave to GJs and told them what we wanted out of a house. They came back with a drawing that was perfect.
They were just so supportive of us and the special little knickknacks and things that we wanted to put in our home. It was everything that we had wanted.
Every day I come home, I walk up the stairs and I think, wow, I'm lucky.
To get the home you've always wanted, visit gjgardner.co.nz.
Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai, and welcome along to the GJ Gardner Homes Morale Super Slam. My name is Tiana Placid and it's great to have you along for our semi-finals down here at Mount Maunganui. It is a stunning day here, there are no clouds in the sky. Our players have done a fantastic job over this weekend, and hey, it's our second to last beach tour, so they are amped and ready. So let's check it out.
Hello and welcome to beautiful Mount Maunganui, where we are in the penultimate leg of our G.J. Gardner's beach volleyball tour. This is the Moau Super Slam, the second women's semifinal of the day, playing for a spot in the final match later today at 3 p.m. My name is Ivy Schmidt. I've been commentating all year. With me commentating today is Jack McManaway.
Hey Ivy, how's it going?
Oh, you know, I'm absolutely fantastic. It's a gorgeous day down here. Sunny, beautiful, a few waves out there if you want to surf, no wind. How about yourself? How are you doing?
Oh, this is the place to be. Days like this, not a cloud in sight.
Yeah.
Certainly swimming weather, so if you're at home watching, surely we can twist your arm, come on down, and watch some excellent volleyball that we've got in store.
Yeah, instead of listening to our obnoxious voices. If you guys can't tell, I'm from California. Jack is a local Mount resident.
Absolutely.
But he's over living in Hamilton, going to study. We actually both played this weekend, not to toot our own horn. Obviously, we're commentating, so we didn't do that well. We're really good at talking. But already out on the court is Olivia Macdonald. She is a Pew Pew local. She was born and raised in Pew Pew. Francesco Kirwan is her partner, born in New Zealand, but raised in Italy and back in New Zealand. For their opposition, they are playing against Micah Lindsay-Brown, Taranaki local, only been playing for about 5 years now. Originally from Switzerland is Susan Imhasly. Now, both duos have met before. I believe they actually met last in Christchurch. Olivia Kirwan won that round on to the finals.
Have you played any of these teams in the tournament?
I actually did. I played Lindsay-Brown and Imhasly last night. Played really well, and I did not. Me and my partner lost. I can't even say that it was fun. I think I was sitting there and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I hate volleyball. I probably shouldn't have said that so many times, but great up by Kirwan, putting that into the deep back corner. You've heard me say it before, but going over on one works every single time, half the time. And that was the only reason I even got points yesterday, was I would just dig the ball over on one.
Well, they are a tidy team, you know. They're probably not as athletic as Kirwan Macdonald, but Imhasly Lindsay-Brown certainly know their way around the court, and it's like they know every grain of sand out there.
They train a lot. Lindsay-Brown's only been playing for 5 years, but she's been on the beach working hard and getting better every single tournament that I see her at. Great dig from Kirwan. Kirwan is just a very disciplined player. She's going to stick in the angle, but the minute she sees something, she's going to go.
Smart play, putting it back over on one. There's plenty of space back there. Wonder if that's what we're going to be seeing a lot during this match.
Yeah, so Imhasly and Lindsay-Brown are very cagey players, typical of just their experience. They're going to go over on one, they're going to go over on two, they're going to do a lot more shots. That was just a great turn and read by Lindsay-Brown, just not able to get it quite back over. It's definitely going to be a ball game.
Macdonald to serve. She's known for her topspin serve. She loves to get it out, throw it up and have a swing. Looks like she's going to opt with a float serve here.
Yeah, she wasn't doing that last night. Last night, every single one of those was landing on the line. It was making me so frustrated. And I just, like, the mental... So, beach volleyball is a very mental game. And just, like, mentally, every time a player will land the ball on the line, like, it just frustrates you. It just gets you thinking. And that's what she did. She did a really good job of just playing with me on that line yesterday. I want to see a little bit of that today. Did not see them make a single error last night, so hopefully they didn't leave it all on the court for me.
Well, they've got to an early lead. 6 points to 1 as we see this first side switch. Switching at a cumulative points of 7. And of course the first and second sets are going to 21 points.
And if you heard me pop a cold one, it was just sparkling water, you guys. Don't worry, it's a scorcher down here. And Vista sparkling water hooked us up with some Fijoa sparkling water, some watermelon sparkling water. And we're gonna get the ref involved in this one. Just gonna check the ball mark on that.
One of the great benefits of beach volleyball, when the ball hits the ground, it needs a mark. Something that doesn't really happen in indoor.
So he deems their ball as it has touched the line. So I've got 7-1 with Macdonald to serve.
Tight set there. Unable to get the point.
There was actually a net violation from Kirwan Macdonald, so point will go to Imhasly, Lindsay-Brown. If you touch any part of the net, you know, it's the other player's turn. Point goes the opposite way. It's an error.
Smile on Macdonald's face. She thought she got away with that one. But Luis Santana, the first referee, has seen this happen many times before. He's our first ref.
Macdonald's one of the few women's players that we're going to see whip out those paws and get us some nice hand sets. Her and Kirwan have been partners for a long time. They've traveled internationally together. Macdonald was actually a member of the Wildcats beach volleyball squad over at University of Arizona, one of the first New Zealand volleyball players to get a scholarship overseas. And Kirwan, of course, if you recognize that last name. What is Sir Kirwan to the New Zealanders?
An idol?
An idol.
He's extremely well known, the rugby player, Sir John Kirwan, and he's doing leaps and bounds for mental health. So awesome to have Fran down here on the beach, and you know, if we're lucky, John comes down every now and again.
It's just good genetics, you know. If your dad's gonna be a professional athlete, you gotta be one yourself. She also has her own wine company, I believe it's JK14. She imports Italian wines to New Zealand. It's fantastic. Every time I see it in the grocery store, I get so excited. I'm like, oh. It's just nice to like have that sort of, you want to support each other. Some of the New Zealand volleyball players all have their own businesses. You see their products and you just want to support them. Absolutely,
but you probably opt for a sparkling water rather than a wine.
You know, health and wellness, babes, health and wellness. Lindsay-Brown did a great job on that high line. That's kind of her bread and butter. She just cuts it down the line every single time. That one, controlling it, keeping it on that line, playing with them a little bit. Oh, beautiful power swing from.
But what a dig.
Yeah. Nice dig. Is she able to? Not quite. So this is exactly what Imhasly Lindsay-Brown were doing last night, is they were playing great defense. If you were hitting it, they were digging it. And then every single ball that they returned was right on the line. So I'm glad that they're finally giving Kirwan Macdonald some of that, because it's just frustrating as a player sometimes to have that happen to you. So I want everyone to share in the pain. There it is again, that bread and butter, high line.
Off the hands of Olivia Macdonald, that ball just falling short of Francesca Kirwan.
11-5 in the first set of the women's semi-final here at Mount May Beach.
Kirwan is a power swinger. So obviously her dad's a rugby player. She's got that build. She's got the musculature to just put the ball away. And I love watching when she gets up. She prefers her sets a little bit out. And she just has that line, that angle. It's fantastic.
Certainly exciting to see power so early in the game. I mean, if you talk to Mike Watson, a local favourite here at beach volleyball, he'll tell you to have a 90-10 ratio. 90% power, 10% of shots. Of course, it's a little bit different in the women's game, but certainly power is a necessity. That's what they're showing right now.
Great poke there by Lindsay-Brown.
And there it is, just like that scramble play and just smart decisions. She's off the net. She's going to put it short. Most players would put that deep. It's really hard to get that ball just across that plane and keep it short enough that other defenders cannot receive it. But you can't do much against Olivia's hit. One of our more physical players. Now that Alice Amon's back, she's kind of giving Olivia a run for her money on that title. Both these girls just fresh out of uni, hitting that weight room, the reps, the experience, practicing 20 hours a week. It's a game changer for you. And that brings us to our trade wins technical timeout. Every time the score adds up to 21, they get a free timeout.
I think interesting is that the set is quite tight, and it's because I think Macdonald and Kirwan know that they've got the height on Imhasly, Lindsay-Brown, and so it's nice to see that they're pushing that and they're wanting to be aggressive on the net, and that's why we're seeing so much power swings going on.
Yeah, especially if you're physical players like Kirwan and Macdonald. They're both about 6 foot, and they're just strong. They jump so high. They train a lot. There's no reason not to set. If you're passing well, there's no reason to not set each other 50-50. They're head and shoulders above Lindsay-Brown's block. They could hit over the block if they really wanted to.
Back onto the court now, 15 points to 6. A sizable lead, it is fair to say. That's an ace. Ace on Lindsay-Brown. Couldn't quite handle that.
Yeah, so one of the advantages that Kirwan and Macdonald have is that they only had to play 2 games yesterday because they won them both. Imhasly and Lindsay-Brown did lose one of the games, so they had to play through the loser's bracket to reach over here. And then I know for a fact that they were on the beach until about 6:30 last night because they were playing us till about 6:30 last night. And we made them earn it. Kind of, not really. I think I served every other ball out, but other than that, they had to earn some of their points.
That's a positive. Sometimes you got to take away what you can from matches.
Well, I wanted them to be nice and fresh for today, so.
You are so kind.
You know, I do my part. And that is that's gonna be a point from Imhasly Lindsay-Brown. If you hit the ball into the net, it doesn't count as hitting it over. It doesn't touch the net, but it still doesn't count.
Macdonald's got all smiles about that last one.
That's the only reason I feel comfortable saying that. There's some players that sometimes I make a comment about their play and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if we're on that level. I don't know if we're on that level. Oh, smart play by Kirwan. Macdonald got a touch of that on her block, so it had to be over. You only get 2 more touches after the block touch, and Kirwan was like, nah, just gonna put it away.
Smart, it's 1 for 1. They did one earlier in the set, Imhasly and Lindsay-Brown, so certainly maybe going on 1, going over on 2 is what they should be looking for at this point. But another power swing, and Imhasly can't bring that back. We see a nice high set, and just snaps it down and over.
Just out. Sometimes you get so excited to play a game and you get really amped up, and I think that Imhasly and Lindsay-Brown are the kind of players that it can kind of go either way for them. So either every single one of their shots is going to fall and it's going to hit the line, or all of their shots are just going to be an inch out, or a few centimeters out, and that's what we're seeing right now. And it's hard to get rid of them because Kirwan, as you see there, is just going to send it.
First set point for Kirwan Macdonald in the first set. They have plenty of it, 20 points to 8. They'll be looking to finish this in the next point, I'm sure, with Macdonald back to serve.
And first game is going to go to Kirwan Macdonald. Again, we do play best 2 out of 3 here. So they have a chance, Imhasly, Lindsay-Brown, to come back and fight for that spot in the finals against Alice Zaman and Julia Tilley.
They're doing nice high sets at the moment from both teams, and I think, is that something that differs from the men's game to the women's game?
You know, I think it's situational. I've noticed, I think it's also, again, just who your coach is. And I think in New Zealand, there's just like a standard of coaching that pass high, set high. Because back in the States, everything's set low, pass low, pass low, pass low. Like, it's interesting to come over here. And even yesterday, I had this conversation with Fitzy, my partner for the day, and I was calling line, and she kept hitting into the block, and I was like, and it wasn't until after that game that I was like, do you hear my calls? I'm calling you line. That means like there's a line block. And she looks at me and goes, you know, in New Zealand, we call where to hit. And I just looked at her and I started laughing. And after that game, we figured it out that it's just opposite. So here she's been taught to call where to hit. And in the States, I was taught where to shoot. Like, you call where to shoot, where the, so if I'm saying line, it means high line, versus if you say line, it's shoot line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Or vice versa. It was bizarre. It was so funny. It was just one of those moments where I was like, why do you keep hitting right at the block?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been taught the same. That's where you get told to go line. That means go line rather than there's a block line. So, I don't know. It's awesome that there's different strategies around the world, and especially for New Zealand being a relatively small country in terms of their volleyball status. It is interesting.
But that's why if you are learning how to play volleyball and you're interested in getting better, take everything that your coach has, take it seriously, implement it for that whole season that they're your coach, or that whole practice that they're your coach. And then you get a new coach who tells you something different, you just do it, because you're never going to know what works out for you. Like, I had a coach that for beach volleyball, you had to pass every single ball straight in front of yourself. And it wasn't until I got to UCLA that my coach was like, why are you passing right in front of yourself? That's so hard for the setters. Pass to the middle of the court. Oh, beautiful line. That's her spot. Like that, straight on the line, low to the net. It's just undefendable.
Well, that's how you bounce back from losing the first set. Just pounding one down the line.
And that's one of the perks of using your hands to set, is you can just over on 2 and no one's really expecting it.
Nice float serve, dropping just over the net, but Imhasly is able to bring it back. Can't quite side out though. She puts that one into the net. 2 points to 1, Macdonald and Kirwan. After taking the first set, 21-8.
And they've been a dominant force on the tour this year. So members of the Silver Fern Beach squad, they're all kind of competing for the top spots for New Zealand to represent in Olympic qualification. Not that they're necessarily going to be in the Olympics, just that they get to contend and be the ones put out by New Zealand to be in contention for Olympic spots, which is a huge deal. And this year, instead of having set partners, they've all been mixing up just to see what the right scenario is going to be. Oh, gorgeous cut shot from Lindsay-Brown.
Well to get that past the block of Olivia Macdonald. She's big at the net, as we've seen already.
I think just because she wasn't expecting it, because she is such a thumb up kind of player, and to see her go thumb down it's great.
So we see another over on 1 from Kirwan.
Guys, it works every single time. When in doubt, just go over. You make so many errors on your second and third contact. I don't get why we don't just play volleys all day. And volleys is just a game where you literally just go over on 1. I don't actually recommend that. It won't actually work.
Maybe the eyes lit up a little bit.
Got a little too excited. Forgot there was a net there. It's all good. I do that too.
4 points to 3 in favour of Kirwan Macdonald as we see the first side switch of the second set.
sponsored by GJ Gardner Homes.
Imhasly to serve.
Just holding on to that ball a little bit too long. So in beach volleyball, when you're hand setting, you can't actually, you have to like picture your hands like a basket. You want to cradle that ball, but there's a certain point that it's not allowed to go past. And she likes to play with the edge, and she did get called on that one.
Certainly, if you do hold it a little bit longer, you have more control, but that is the borderline that you're talking about. So, of course, we did see a lot of doubles in the second men's semi-final, so the ref is looking at the sets. It is a topic of conversation.
And there's that big block that we were talking about. Oh, but they're going to convert that to a point. Great pickup for Imhasly Lindsay-Brown. I don't know how she does it. I think she kind of levitates. She jumps, and she just hangs there. And it defies gravity. It defies science. And it's one of the perks of just being her. It's farm girls. We've decided farm girls do it better. Grew up on a farm out in Pew Pew. Went to boarding school before getting shot off over to the States. And she's been playing with Kirwan the last few years internationally. So great dig from Kirwan. Power play from Imhasly. And then Imhasly, so as we were saying, she's from Switzerland. Her husband and her son also play beach volleyball, and they were, I believe, the only duo. They were the duo on the beach that had the oldest and the youngest member playing in the tournament.
You're absolutely right. And yeah, I think it's always a dream for the father to be able to play with their son. And yeah, they seem to be having a great time. So.
See, I think my dad wanted me to be a son, so we did play in a father-daughter day tournament together one time. It did not go well. He broke his ankle in the first 2 minutes of the day. And then I think that added on to the fact that I wasn't a son and just, you know, I'm just kidding, Dad, I love you.
Nice high take from Imhasly there.
Oh.
A big scream of no because it was a 3-point.
And now they know how I felt yesterday, because that was my game yesterday. So every time I did something well, I followed it up with one of those errors. One of those, it's so open. It's right there. Your brain thinks you're doing it. Your body thinks you're doing it, but it's just not happening.
And it takes 5 years to make a semi-final.
And I believe I heard that this is actually their first semifinal appearance, which I'm really surprised by, because I would have thought they're a very strong duo. They've been playing together for the last 2 years. Saw them quite frequently on the tour last year. Always hated playing against them. They're just so cagey.
Yeah, certainly one of those teams that you can never count out. They're always another one from Francesca Kirwan. That must be her fourth by now.
I think Kirwan's just over volleyball. She doesn't want to hit. She's saving that shoulder for later. And as I was saying, is I literally cannot lift my shoulder over my head. Like every time I was trying to eat food and it was sore, so I started eating with my left hand. Oh, she does want to hit. She wants to hit big. Cross court.
Absolutely she does. Slams that one down. No chance for Imhasly there. Just see a nice high pass, high set. Puts it onto the net. Love to see it.
And on that note, team, it is our 2-well technical timeout.
And on that note, you guys, it is our 2L technical timeout. Actually, no, it's not. I just overheard someone else saying that. This is just a player's timeout. Our technical timeout is not until the score equals 21, and it's only 11-6. Imhasly Lindsay-Brown just needing a moment to compose themselves, get together.
Certainly, they need to change the momentum now. Kirwan Macdonald has won the last 3 points. It was a side switch of 8-6, and they have won all of the 3 points on this current side. So, yeah, just needing to stop the momentum, talk it over, maybe just rest a little bit, and yeah, they need to combat the strong pairing of Francesca Kirwan and Olivia Macdonald.
That's right, I managed to work with them just at the start of the week on.
And again, they are playing for a spot in our finals game later on today against Alice Amon, Julia Tilia on at 3. Olivia Macdonald and Francesca Kirwan won Christchurch Super Slam 2 weekends ago, which we were so fortunate to have. We just kind of snuck that in between some scary little level 1 lockdown or level 4 lockdowns from some COVID infiltration, but kicked that bugger out of New Zealand again. And we're just able to sneak this one in after another little lockdown spell.
Lots of touches off the block there, but managing to keep the ball alive. And Kirwan and Macdonald end up winning that point. Imhasly just can't quite get it up. And again, just too far away as we see an ace serve from Kirwan.
I've always loved watching Kirwan Macdonald play because Macdonald's kind of this loosey-goosey on the court. You see her laughing when she makes a mistake, but she does amazing volleyball. And then Kirwan's kind of the more level-headed, like you watch her play and she's just disciplined. Like even there, like Macdonald's laughing, kind of like haha, like whatever, and Kirwan's just nods. Yep, we're gonna get the next one. And that will take us to our 2L technical timeout, 13-8. What kind of player are you?
I'm pretty vocal. I mean, there's talk on the tour that I'm the next Mike Watson, which, I mean, nothing against Mike Watson. He's an extraordinary player, but he certainly has a showboating characteristic to him, and I'd like to think that I'm a little bit more composed, but...
Not gonna lie, it hurts. It hurts. I've been told so many times that I'm the female version of Mike Watson, and every time I get told it, I cringe. But I was told by someone else that they've never seen me punt a ball into the ocean after I lost a game. So at least we have that.
Well, we haven't seen that today because Mike Watson is in the finals. He'll be coming up next after this game at 2 p.m, the men's final. But for right now, if you just joined us, it's the women's semi-final, the second one of the day, with Kirwan Macdonald taking the first set and holding a lead of 13 points to 8.
And just throwing it out there, he might be better at volleyball, but we're younger and better looking, so come at us, Mike Watson. Big swing from Olivia. You could see her gearing up for that. That was a great pass, great set. I don't think Imhasly or Lindsay-Brown had any chance at that one.
Too much space.
Maybe not the ball to do an angle block on. You kind of only want to do an angle block if you have a big enough block and if you're going to take up enough court. So if you're going to do an angle block and you're smaller players, I would put the ball shorter and keep it in the middle, because once we move out to that antenna, it just leaves the whole court open. Too much pressure on the block. Imhasly trying to do a little over on one. If it was last night, would have tagged the back line. Today it's not in their favor.
15 points to 8, the first 2 points after the technical timeout coming.
Business-like execution. I don't think Kirwan's made any mistakes.
Well, with setting like Macdonald is doing, setting it right on the net, Kirwan's just seeing too much space, and she's got a good eye for it when she can go power and when she has to do a shot. So, certainly loving her power game at the moment, and we do too. It's awesome to watch. We see another one. Hitting it high off the hands of Lindsay-Brown, and no one's going to be able to touch that. Too much power. So we see 17 points to 8.
Smart play by Imhasly, just that middle drive, standing. She's just a very experienced player. I think today they just let the nerves get the best of them. Just not executing those same shots that we typically would see them play.
We had a side switch of 13 to 8, the technical timeout, so it is currently 17-9. Macdonald and Kirwan stepping it up to a new level. That one just goes long. So possibly a chance here for Lindsay-Brown and Imhasly to get some momentum and put the Kirwan-Macdonald pairing under pressure.
I wonder how much Macdonald bench press is. Let's get like a lift off between her, Zaman, and Watson.
I'm honest. I'm sure we would be able to talk those people into it.
Tour finals. We'll get. So we had F45 down here earlier this weekend. I'm sure we could get them to bring some bench press equipment. Loser has to buy the first round at the bar.
There it is. That might be the first serving error from Kirwan today. Putting that one into the net. Serving tough, and it's shown with the 21-8, 18-11 point differential so far.
And that's a great spot there by Francesca Kirwan. Knuckling the ball just above the blocker into another part.
See here on the replay, just getting up high and just beating the block of Lindsay-Brown, and it's too far away from Imhasly.
That knuckle inside out pokey.
Great job by Mike and Lindsay-Brown. Seeing the open space there and going for that angle. Mike is served.
19 points to 12. Certainly not out of it yet, as we've seen many times in beach volleyball. You can come back from a large deficit.
But I don't know. I think that's going to be bringing us within one of another finals appearance from Kirwan Macdonald against Zaman Julia Tilley, and it will be one to watch. I think that will be the best game of the day.
Watch can Macdonald cook up here. Imhasly receives it.
Olivia's just been loving that deep back corner. And that is game, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't go anywhere because we will have live interviews. We also have the men's final up first at 2 p.m. And it's going to be Sam O'Day and Mike Watson versus Tom Hartles and Alani Nicklin. My name is Ivy Schmidt. I know my voice is getting annoying. Thank you so much for listening to it.
We will see you back here shortly, but we will be catching up with Olivia Macdonald and Francesca Kirwan after their semi-final victory, 21-8, 21-12 against Susan Imhasly and Micah Lindsay-Brown. Thanks so much for tuning in. And I think one thing that stood out for me is that power game in that last match. You know, it's irreplaceable. Everyone can do your shots and whatnot, but as soon as you bring that power aspect of it, it just minimizes so much time. So let's hear from the players now, the winners of the women's semi-final, Fran Kirwan and Olivia Macdonald.
All right, down here with me I have our semi-final winners, Francesca Kirwan and also Olivia Macdonald. Congratulations, how was it out there for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty hot, like after 2 weeks off and the weather being kind of cold. It's a bit of a shock to the system, be out in the sunshine again, but it's been fun.
That's awesome to hear. And Francesca, now beach volleyball, it takes a lot of time and effort, but also you have your new business, JK14 Wines. How's it been balancing both?
It's good. It's good because I'm pretty flexible during the day, so I can train and work, but it's incredible how you can notice as soon as you train hard, you perform better, and as soon as you go and sell more, then you make more money. So it's like, you just got to work hard and then it pays off.
Hey, it ends up being a win-win situation. Now, Olivia, you are the first woman here in New Zealand to head on over on a full scholarship to the University of Arizona for beach volleyball. What's it like coming back here to play here in Mount Maunganui?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I definitely made the decision to come back and try to play for New Zealand, and this place will always have like a special place in my heart. Like, New Zealand's beautiful, especially the Mount Beach. It's incredible.
It seriously is a stunning place. So congratulations again. We can't wait to see you guys in the final against Alice Zeman and also Julia Tilley. We will see you guys for their final at 3 p.m. on Sky Sport.